education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
Yes. And we're back. We are back. Thank you, Maybe Shannon and Ray Nitty, for that lunch break, man. Listen, they always got the hot topics. I need some hot topics, too. I got a couple hot topics. We got a really, really big show for you. So good afternoon, Milwaukee. What is up? Welcome to another edition of the Grapevine on the Truth Radio 101.7. I'm your host, boom, Manan Sabir. Today is Mindful Movement Monday. Remember, Mondays are always Mindful Movement Mondays. You can't get around Mindful Movement Mondays, man. You got to keep moving. But remember what I always say before we get into the things, remember what I always say. On Mondays, please don't just start your workout, your movement on Mondays. Start that joint when you think about it, not just on Mondays. So we do Mindful Movement Mondays because, you come off the weekends and, we do definitely have some people who are out there who are like, man, you know what? I'm going to start on Monday. I got somebody. We're going to talk about a few things with our guest about starting on Mondays because he had a few questions. I didn't want to answer him right on the phone. I actually wanted to answer him on air, so it'll be a quite surprise for us to talk about. But listen. Every Monday, remember, we talk about moving our bodies, moving our minds, moving our families, and moving our community forward. Just 1%. Remember that. 1% of the time at a time. So before we dive into today's conversations, I want to start with something that we don't think enough about. I want to celebrate some people. I want to celebrate Ray Nitty. He got his anniversary coming up, baby, real soon, right? Am I wrong?
It was on the 1st.
It was on the 1st. Okay, boom. 100 years more.
He's going to celebrate, though.
He's going to go celebrate. Okay, yeah. Hey, listen, Ray, he's going to celebrate really, really soon. Actually, we're out. We're all invited. Where we going? St. Thomas? All right. Hey, y'all. Truth Radio, we're going to St. Thomas. Yo, listen, we're going to celebrate some more people. And I'm really excited about these shout-outs because these two individuals have been nothing but consummate lovers of life. And I want to make sure that they are listening. So hang your head up high. Brother Jamal and Sister Danica, I want to send a huge congratulations to y'all. You just got married yesterday, the summer solstice. You chose a very, very beautiful time of the year. That's the longest day of the year. June 21st is usually the longest day of the year. And you chose the right day to get married. I know Danica is one of the more loving individuals I've met in a really long time, especially just spending time with you guys in Georgia. Fantastic. And I really appreciate y'all. Make sure you call in. I want to hear y'all voice, 833-212-1017. You can say something to the wider community about how important love is between two people. And you got to remember, marriage is one of the greatest commitments two people can make. So it isn't just about the wedding day. Like, that's the easy part because they pretty much got married earlier. but it's about choosing each other every single day after that. And we all have to remember that the more we are able to choose each other, yes, that's them. Thank you. The more we're able to choose each other, the better it is for our internal revolution. And when you have an internal revolution, the evolution starts to evolve wider and wider. So Jamal and Danica, from all of us here at the Grapevine, the Truth Radio 101.7, we pray your home is filled with love, joy, patience, mercy, laughter, good health, great health, and generations of blessings. Congratulations to you both. Hey, look, y'all give them a round of applause. Not just a round of applause, give them a whole bunch of prayers. Send it out to the universe, because they say prayers go far and wide. They go past just this plane here, right? They go far and wide. So my next shout out, I like to shout out a good friend of mine. His name is Fadah. I met Fadah when I was in London. I used to stay in London. I used to do my childhoods in London. My childhoods. I got a couple childhoods. But I used to spend some of my childhood in London, central London. I used to spend about 3 months with my dad and my brother. And one thing I learned about living in London is that depending on the part of London you're in, you will find different types of people. So Fadah, he had a really interesting childhood, but he also is named Fadah. I don't know after who, but this guy looks exactly like a young Fidel Castro. And I was like, man, you look like somebody I know. But this is the first time I met him. He's like, who? I was like, Fidel Castro. And the guy, I mean, he's one of the consummate lovers of life also. So I want to congratulate y'all. Congratulate Fadah and your lovely wife for having and welcoming your third child into this world. Brother, congratulations to you. Congratulations to your family. Congratulations to your first two children. You guys are a beautiful family, and I really, really appreciate the love you put into your family. You guys have traveled the world together and keep on going. So every baby is a reminder that the future is still being written. You guys are definitely writing that future. So may your newest edition be blessed with good health, wisdom, a lot of compassion, and a life full of purpose. We need that. We need that in this world. So much love from Milwaukee to London. We got that picture, Zach. We got that picture of the baby. You put that up already? Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kids are important. You know, seeing Jamal begin a marriage and seeing my guy Fadah welcome another child got me thinking about something that's really been on my heart lately, and that's my daughter Sahar. Thank you. I appreciate it, Zach. My daughter Sahar. And as many of you know, I'm a dad first. I'm a martial artist. I'm a entrepreneur. Before you could put a title in front of my name, I'm Sahar's dad. And watching her grow has changed the way I look at things. And I've been thinking about how I've changed and how much this little 6-year-old has humbled me. For example, this is a quick humble example. One day I said, "Hey, Sahar, I need you to go, put something away." So put her shoes up. So she says to me, and knowing that I'm dad and she's daughter, she knows this, right? She says, "No, you put it away." And usually on any given day, in any given household, you will, as a dad or as a parent, respond in kind. Like, "No, you put it away." But I had to think about this. I've been raised around nothing but guys. I had majority of my siblings are boys, so it's 5 of us. It's four boys, 1 girl, and my childhood was nothing but men, a lot of men. I've grew up in a community, a religious community that was primarily a lot of men, for me. And then also in a martial arts and also community perspective, it was a lot of men. So the challenge for me is trying to figure out how to create a humble environment from my perspective. So this young girl is raised in a way that that is respectful for the house. But she's been humbling me tremendously. So this morning, I asked her, I say, so this morning I usually put her in her bed, or at night I put her in her bed, she goes to sleep. And I wake up and she's next to me. And I'm saying like, okay, well, I'll just lay here because I'm still tired. And it's about 6:05. And I'm laying there for about 10 minutes and I wake up and I take care of my morning duties. Everybody know what that is. And then as I'm kind of finishing up, she says, Dad. I'm like, all right, what's up? She said, Dad, come lay down. Come lay down. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm up. She says, Dad, come lay down. So I lay down and she's on one part. She's in the middle of the bed. In my bed. So I lay down on her side, on the side that she's tells me to lay down at. She says, no, that's not your side. You're on the other side. A 6-year-old telling her parent, telling her dad where to go in times of going back to sleep. This is out of order. Milwaukee, I'm just learning that humility is not just a currency that you can just throw away. You got to own it. When we come back, we are going to get into what kind of city are we building for our children here in Milwaukee. Zach, take me away.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Yes. Welcome back. You know what I've been thinking about since we're hitting the summertime. I think we had a lot of kids who have been out of school, I think possibly for going on 2 weeks now. And I've been thinking about this a lot. Summertime is a time when we're to have a lot of fun. We're to have so much fun, and especially with our children, that they shouldn't be under much stress. And a lot of our fun, especially in Wisconsin, is based around food, festivals, family, all of that. But I've been noticing that even looking at the people in and around Wisconsin at some of the festivals and the likes, that I'm noticing a small uptick in the kids and how overweight they've become. And I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned at our children and how we are treating them in relationship to their health. Now, I'm just stating the facts that what kind of city are we building for our children? Are we making sure that they have healthy food? Are we creating areas in which the neighborhoods have access to healthy foods? Because even as I stated last week, and we all know that the issue of having healthy food is not just in relationship to having a building and having food in there. You can have that all day. But one of the major issues is changing the mentality of the individuals and especially the parents, changing the mentality, or educating the parents of changing their mentality behind healthy eating. Like that's huge. That is huge. I think that we have children who are, I think, normally in the suburban areas. And this is according to some statistics in the Milwaukee area, Milwaukee County. I think Milwaukee County's obesity rates for children under a specific age, child age, has dropped to about 6% in kind of the outer lying areas. But the obesity rate for the children in the inner area, the inner city, I don't even want to say the inner city, but I'll say it anyway, the inner city is at 38%. So what do we have to do, Milwaukee? I'm asking y'all straight up, what do we have to do in order to keep our kids healthy? Like, we could talk about violence, we could talk about politics, we could talk about LeBron James dunking on whoever. We could talk about the Truth Radio. Whatever you want to talk about, we can do that. But if we're to pass on health, if we can't pass on health to our children from one generation to the next, then we are quite possibly in trouble. Are we creating a safe space for our kids to be exceptional? And is this something that we actually care about? Like, I definitely care about this. I've seen children this weekend. I seen a child, and I was at the park with my daughter, and there was an asthma medication, pump, and it was the long one. It was the inhaler, sitting on the bench. So my daughter went to go try to check out and see what it was, and so she was about to grab it. I was like, "No, don't grab that. It belonged to another kid." So the kid, who was of substantial size, grabs it. Now he grabs it and he takes a pump of it, and then he bounces. But one thing I do know, and he leaves. But one thing I do know about asthma is asthma can be reversed. It is not a condition that it can be reversed. There have been people who have definitely reversed their asthmatic conditions. Asthma can be reversed. If you are asthmatic, please tune in. One, as a person of physical health and also some level of professionalism, I learned that giving kids 3 green apples, just 3 green apples, or yourself 3 green apples, if you're suffering from asthma, in the morning, just 3 of them, you'll be able to stave off some of the symptoms of asthmatic conditions. It's something that is very, very simple. Or not allowing your child, because children aren't going to let themselves starve. Not allowing your child, especially if you're a responsible parent, to not allowing your child to not eat at night. Like, you can pause your child's eating at night so they won't wake up and have this coagulated blood. Jasmine West, I'm gonna go to some of the chat. Cole Stevens 7688 said, let's talk about it. Jasmine West 3935 said, I was a school bus driver for 16 years. Kids go to school with huge bags of chips. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to break this down. Yes, Flamin' Hots. Y'all name them. Flamin' Hots, Takis, Cheetos, Funyuns, Onions, Doritos. It is through the roof. And majority, if you can't pick your food, if you don't know what's in your food, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to understand how it breaks down in your body. It's going to be hard to break down in your body. It's going to be really, really hard to break down. Candies, different types of candies, red dye, yellow dye, blue dye, green dye, like we don't even have to talk about the different numbers of the potency of the dyes. The numbers are the different potencies. Cakes and cookies. So, and you're right, Jasmine West, early in the morning too. So, yes, early in the morning, we have children who are allowed to partake in breakfast that would be considered in my day. Like, I ain't that old, but I'm older. In my day, we're allowing children to partake in breakfast that we would consider snacks. We would consider those items that they get from the corner store snacks. What are we doing, Milwaukee? How are we allowing if you can't wake up, if you can't wake up, you're on the other side. And there are more and more kids that are living in this type of environment where they have to go to the doctor. I know a 12-year-old who has to go to the doctor for having childhood obesity and diabetes. This is out of control. Not only is the number of 30-something% of the kids population, not only is it ticking up, it's rising. It ain't just like a little bit. It's going up higher and higher and higher. Let alone we have rising tariffs. We had rising tariff costs. Inflation is going up. So now the food that takes less to make is the one that's populated in the marketing annals. So we're having to deal with rising food costs. So when you go to the grocery store and you usually pay $17 for however many items, guess what? Now you're going to the grocery store and you're paying $37, $40 for those particular items. That's rising food costs. When you go to the grocery store and you see that sticker shock, guess what you're going to think? Man, if I have to go to this grocery store, past all these food desert complexes that these people shut down, I've had to go to the grocery store and do all that, man, I might as well go to the corner store and grab some chips and take some ground beef, open that bag up, put some chips, ground beef, and cheese on them, and then that we can call that dinner. And most kids will do that. They'll go to the grocery stores and boom, guess what will happen? That'll be their dinner. Milwaukee, let me hear from you. Jasmine West, 935 said, she said, folks need to cook more, slow down on the junk. That's right. You got to slow down on the junk. It ain't even just slow down. Right now, there's junk is ruling the airwaves. Kids know the what is it, the songs to the junk food places better than they know gospel songs when they go to church, or better than they know, Islamic songs or Jewish songs, wherever they go, right? They know those songs better than they do songs that actually matter. Milwaukee, let me hear from you. We're going to build on this. We're going to keep building. This is Truth Radio. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. Go get something to eat or drink. Make sure it's not a snack. Come right back.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com, with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm your host, Sabir, and this is the Grapevine. Yes, this is real. This childhood obesity thing is real. If you're not taking care of business, somebody else is going to take care of the business for you. What I mean by that, if you're not taking care of your children, then somebody's going to take care of that business for you properly, and that might be the government or the school or somebody at the school. So you got to look after your children. One thing that I'm concerned about is how this can be labeled in a way, if you are not doing right by your children, it can be labeled in a way child neglect, in a way child abuse. Don't get it twisted. There are some great parents out there. We know you're doing your job. We know it's hard. We know that when you're looking at a mound of bills, when you're looking at the lack of health care, when you're looking at surviving versus thriving, then it's hard to be in that spot where you're like, hey, all I have is this amount of money and I don't have time to go to the grocery store because it's 20 minutes away. We have to go and make this happen. We got that. But one thing we all have to realize, especially in America, and this is very interesting, is because we live in a place as wild as it has been for a really long time, well, too long. We still have certain freedoms that other folks do not enjoy. And if you've been around the world, there are certain freedoms that we can take advantage of. One especially is a lot of programs allow you to purchase food through the government. And you can also buy seeds. You can purchase those seeds and start your own garden, indoor and or outdoor. All it takes is one step. And that's what this program is about. It's about that 1%. Just take that 1%. That 1%, or telling your child, hey, look, you're not going to starve. We're going to stop you eating at 8 p.m. So I'm locking the kitchen down. I know one of my guys, he called me and he told me about his son. Now, I don't know if his son is overweight or not, but he told me, and this is about locking the kitchen down. He said that he had to talk to his son about not cooking late at night because it disturbs his sleep. So he had to lock the refrigerator. And look, if you got to do it, you got to do it. Some people don't want to be a prisoner in their own home and all that good stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But children ain't going to let themselves starve. When they wake up, when that child wakes up, what's going to happen is their body is going to reset. Their whole entire system is going to reset. From 8 p.m. to whatever time they wake up, their body is going to reset. Now, will they be upset? Yeah, they're probably going to be upset for a good week. And you got to do it with them. You can't just be out there kicking it like, man, that's on him. And then go grab you some Mike and Ike's and a Welch's grape. That's not going to happen. That can't happen. That can't happen. I'm going to go to the chat real quick. Let's see. Jasmine West said, drinking soda, slow down on the junk and drinking sodas and juices. I had to earn snacks as a kid. That's right, Jasmine. You had to earn them snacks. Tell me what snacks you had to earn. Jasmine Baybar said, Jasmine, you still got to earn those snacks. That's funny. Baybar is on fire. Usually on fire. Jasmine West 935. Baybar, yeah, it's work. That's right. Sir Chance says, outstanding. And I mean outstanding subject matter you're currently exploring. It's one that's brutally vital for both parents and children and teens to adhere to by whatever means necessary. And that means, like, that's for real, by whatever means necessary. If we are under, I feel like we're under we're in trouble. We're under a regime in America that's not going to let up. This is not going to let up. I remember hearing about a meeting that a president that's whose last name starts with an O had with some individuals, some large companies, food companies, and what the outcome of that particular meeting was. And I wish I could pull up this article. I'm gonna find the article. I'm gonna pull it up sometime later on. But he had a meeting with some food companies, and he said that out of this particular meeting that they can have or put more ingredients, more harmful ingredients. Now, it wasn't just outright said harmful ingredients, but harmful ingredients into these food groups, into these snack groups. So I remember seeing, and this is maybe like 2014, something like that. I don't remember. Around that time, 12, 13, 14, around that time. But I remember after that, I started to notice the amount of children that I would see with adult ailments or adult-like ailments, heart disease, cancer, colorectal cancer, all kinds of cancers. It almost seemed like it exploded. And so you think about it. Nearly 1 in 5 children live with obesity. In the U.S., black children are disproportionately affected because it's not just the ingredients, but it's also generational knowledge where our parents are saying to the child, hey, my mama fed me this, my grandmother fed me this, my great grandmother had it, now you can have it. And it's like, a dish full of salt. It's wild. This is wild. Some Wisconsin neighborhoods have, and this is real. I've just pulled up the number. Some Wisconsin neighborhoods have childhood obesity rates approaching, this is the exact number, of 38%. 38%. While others, most people are way, way, way below that. And we have all the access. In our neighborhoods, we have a lot of access. We got neighborhood schools. Majority of the time, if you're in the suburbs, or you ever lived in the suburbs, you gotta go across a main street, back road, down the way in order to get to the school to play on the playground or play some ball. But in our neighborhoods, you go right down the block. at the very least, most in not just our neighborhoods. Let me not even stereotype us, but urban neighborhoods, whatever genre of culture you are in, you have access to neighborhood schools that have playgrounds, that have open gyms, that have individuals that are always on the playgrounds. Just in case you don't play a sport that, just in case you play a sport that needs an extra teammate, guess what? Boom. You can go do that. You can go do that. You can play like they now have pickleball. They got futsal. They got tennis courts. They got the tennis courts with the flat back so you can go hit the ball back and forth. You can play handball. It's get your kids outside. Not just get them outside, but educate yourself on the realities of you have to save your child, because sometimes a child may not save themselves. And it's the truth. Like, a child's just going to eat whatever's in front of them. And if you do the same thing, guess what? That's what's going to happen. The child is going to follow you. If you go to McDonald's, guess what the child is going to do? Go to McDonald's. That's plain and simple. Baybar 2028 says Klondike bars has something in it, yes, that make you go for another right away. Yes. Should go get another box. Baybar said that Jasmine West said those are so good. Yeah. In food science, I have a friend he has a doctorate in food science. And one thing he did tell me, it was like everything is made for people to become more and more addicted. More and more addicted. I remember talking to my aunt. She's 102 years old right now. She's beautiful too. I ain't gonna lie. I got a beautiful family. But my aunt is absolutely stunning. When you look at her, she looks like she's like upper 70s and is still doing crossword puzzles, Sudoku, and all that good stuff. And she's about 6 foot. She's a fantastic woman. One thing she did tell me a couple of months ago, she was like, we used to be out in the garden or in the field, picking at whatever she would pick, and it'll be a part of her diet. But just imagine if we had that same thing too. Shout out to Andre Lee Ellis. Shout out to Will Allen. We're going to come right back. We're going to continue to talk about the state of Milwaukee, childhood obesity. Y'all tune in. Zach, take me away.
Here's the deal. We got to set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We got to make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
Yes. Welcome back. And we are sponsored by American Family Insurance, a proud sponsor of The Truth. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to helping families protect what matters most, your home, your vehicle, and the dreams you're building every single day. And if you're a part of the Truth audience, you already know you work hard for yours. That's why having the right protection in place matters. American Family helps you stay ready for whatever life brings so you can focus on moving forward. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. So get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Y'all, we are back, and I'm your host, Manan Sabir. Listen, we have been talking about childhood obesity, and the chat is going in. We're talking about this. I'm fed up. Hope you are fed up. There's many kids that not only are dealing with childhood obesity, but there are some people that are linking childhood obesity to childhood diabetes. And for those of you and that's type 2 diabetes. I'm not talking about type 1, which is a condition of diabetes that you are born with, pretty much. And I'm talking about type 2 diabetes, in which you can acquire. This is a part of this is something that we have to tackle as a community. We have to tackle this as a community. We need adults. that are speaking out. We need adults that are speaking out. We need people to go down to your grocery stores, or the corner stores. I'm sorry, because the grocery stores are phasing out. We need people to go to the grocery corner stores and start demanding. You have to start demanding that our grocery stores either do something about the amount of sugary items that they sell, and or do something in the community that helps counteract what they sell. You can't just allow yourself, you can't walk past that grocery store, go patronize it, and then walk back out. You got to say something. You have to say something. You cannot allow that to go on. Our children go in there, some majority of the time, if they're going in there by themselves, a lot of times they are latchkey kids and or children that have some type of autonomy to move around the neighborhood. And while they're moving around the neighborhood, they need to see you as the adult fight for what's right. So talking to our neighborhood corner store owners isn't going to hurt them. It will only help them. it will only help them. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Baybar said this is good. Baybar said I'm getting a big back at Jasmine West. Jasmine West says I had to earn pizza, chips, McDonald's, but I got good grades or chores in order to get something fun to eat. Other than that, a well-balanced meal every day. Yes. Let me abolish a myth. The myth is breakfast. The myth is breakfast, y'all. Yeah, y'all don't need breakfast every day. Majority of times when you wake up, your body is in a state of fasting, and you want to get your body. And this, I'm just going to break it down really, really simply. You want your body to be able to feast on the food that it hasn't broken down from the previous day, the night. You want to be able to have your body feast on that. That is important. If you pass this information and just continue to wash and rewash it to your children, they'll get it. I have a daughter. My daughter, I do try to, from rote and memory, I do try to get her to eat breakfast. Every day I try to get her to eat breakfast. Today she said she wanted to have a snack. So I pointed her to a cucumber and then an apple. Like, it was just, this stuff is just laid out, and it's like a ticking box. It's like I'm allowing her to tick off the things that she wants. And if it gets to a point to where she's like, Dad, I just want some candy, then I recognize, and she recognizes, that this is a choice. She's made a choice on her own to have this particular food group. But it wasn't because I wanted her to have this. Like, we'll go through 12 items in the house. But it wasn't because I allowed her to have it right away. If she says you want candy, you got to earn it. You got to eat, the apple. You got to eat that rhubarb. You have to eat that piece of whatever, boiled egg, whatever it is whatever it is that's healthy for her, for your children. Make sure they go through that particular list, or they don't get nothing. They don't get anything. Just stop. Just say, all right, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to make this happen. Plain and simple. In Wisconsin, the rate of obesity in Wisconsin, the rate of obesity of children that are obese is at 51.4%. That's children before the high school age and years. 51.4%. Now, Baybar, you may see a lot of young teens, and that's cool. I like that, and I like that statement. But in relationship to that, there's also the antithesis that there are children who are in these schools that are overweight and obese at 51.4%. And what's going on? I need some teachers to talk about this. I remember going into some of the educational blocks, the schools, and visiting the break rooms, and man, the teacher break rooms going down. Like, I can understand. It is no pun against some teachers. There's a lot of teachers that are very, very healthy, and there's a lot of teachers doing their best. But I can understand why it's not a big push for our children to have less sugary snacks and the likes is because we think that giving them this hypeness, this snack will allow us to have favor with them, and then vice versa. And that's not the case. That is not the case, because a child is always going to maintain that attitude. They're just looking for that dopamine rush. Don't give them the good dopamine rush, y'all. Milwaukee, don't give them the dopamine rush. I'm going to go to the chat real quick because we don't got a lot of time. And I got a very special guest coming on, Sabir Shapiro. Sabir Shapiro, Grammy award-winning Sabir Shapiro, coming on real soon on the next hour. But I'm going to go to this chat real quick. Jasmine West says, Baybar says, but I see a lot of young teens that are skinny. Anita Nicole 06 says, I only give my granddaughter fruit for a snack, and she has no complaints because I set that tone. Boom. She's like, I set that tone. Now she can get junk snacks from others because they haven't set the tone. I feel you. I detox my daughter, but she go through a detox. Trauma in the parents are overeating and their kids. Baybar says trauma in the parents are overeating and their kids to feel their pain. That's true. Baybar said Anita's stingy with the snacks though. Hey, look, be stingy with the snacks. Tell your kids they got to go earn them collard greens and kales. All right, y'all. When we come back, we got Sabir Shapiro. Sabir Shapiro, Grammy award-winning, Milwaukee raised Sabir Shapiro is in the building. Come right back.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
Woo, that's a raw. That's just raw. Man, Zach came with it. Welcome back to the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, and that was a fire conversation. I mean, when you talk about childhood obesity, you start to realize that, and especially in a country like this, it's a real thing. So I'm gonna start with this hour. I'm gonna start with a person I've been knowing for a while. Sabir Shapiro, what's up?
How you doing, good brother?
Man, I'm doing good. We got a lot to talk about, man.
Man, thank you for having me on here, man. I appreciate it, man. You've been doing great work, so thank you for having me.
Man, I appreciate you too, and I really appreciate the love that you have given me over the years, and that sustained me in a lot of ways. So, thank you. You
man, look, brother, I appreciate that. And likewise.
I wanted to talk about a few things. I know we have a conversation that is going to come out in this conversation. Who were you before music?
Wow. That's an interesting question. I've never been asked that question before. Before I get into that, I just want to make a slight I want to say something before, when you was introducing me before and bringing me on. You were prophesizing and you were speaking it into existence. I'm Grammy nominated. We didn't bring home the win this year. We lost to Leon Thomas, but I'm a Grammy nominated songwriter, so I don't want people to, say, wait a minute, he talking about he won a Grammy? No, we were nominated and we lost out to Leon Thomas and Mutt. We were nominated for the best R&B album of the year. So,
man,
with Coco Jones.
And that Coco Jones album was fire.
Yeah, she had a great debut album. But to answer your question, who was I before the music? I mean, that's a great question. And if I just have to, my earliest memories of who I was a young black boy, and I think that stands out because of the path that I had to take in terms of my education. I don't know if people remember, but back in the 70s, there was a busing program called Chapter 220.
Yeah.
And I was a Chapter 220 student, So some of my earliest memories is just remembering being the only black kid in my class. So, and being bussed out, having to wake up at, 5:45, 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I could be ready to be on the bus stop by 6:15 to take a hour and 15-minute bus ride, to start school by 7:30 or 8 o'clock, whatever the case may be. So just remembering that my color separated me from who I was around, and how, the comments and the different things I had to deal with due to my color, made me realize who I was at a very, very young age. So I was a young black boy trying to find my way.
Did it cause what type of struggles did that cause And would you, if you had to do it again, would you not do it?
Well, it's interesting. Kids are resilient. So when we're kids, we don't really understand the magnitude maybe of situations or the gravity of situations. So, you know, the actual experience, would I do it again, knowing what I know now? Um, yes. I would do it because I do think that the reasons why I was sent to those schools was because my mother had her very best intention of, I want you to get the best education.
Yeah.
And you know how we are, and especially back in the 70s, if it's white ice, it's colder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's white water, it's wetter.
Yeah.
So I'm sure her mindset was, if I send him to school with these white people, he'll get a better education. And to a great extent, I do see the benefits, because at an early age I had to interact with that culture and deal with the issues that if you were, going to school in our neighborhood where I live, you had a whole nother set of issues to deal with that wasn't like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would do it over. But I honestly do feel like I would have enjoyed either experience too.
Who believed in I guess in all of that, who believed in your gift first? Because it's easy to, I guess, go to those schools, and there are people who probably have lost themselves, right? But in your case, your mom being a strong woman, from what I know, being a strong woman, and you coming back home and like, listen, this is what the channel gonna be. We're gonna leave it on this channel, right?
Right.
Who believed in your gift first?
Okay, I would say me.
Mm.
Ever since I was little, bro, it was we grew up, it was competitive. We played outside.
Yeah.
We was at the playground.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't good, you didn't get on the court.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You couldn't go home and cry and tell your mama. You couldn't do none of that. You just had to go get better.
Right.
So, I've always started off just wanting it, and fortunately I've always had both of my parents' support. My parents will be having their 60th wedding anniversary on July 9th.
Man.
And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I just got goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But honestly, like it was a combination, because my dad was there as far as physically getting me to where I needed to go, where I needed to be every practice, every game, every camp,
Yeah.
every workout when I'm, all of that stuff.
Yep.
And then my mama, she kept my hair right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She kept my hair right. She was the one who said, I don't care what you do with that basketball, because I had a scholarship to play basketball out of high school. She said, I don't care what you do with that basketball, just make sure you get them papers.
Yeah.
Get that degree.
Yeah.
So that was her. So my parents equally believed in me, and then my sister and my brother did too. I wanted to be like my brother. That's why I played basketball. That's how I got into music.
Right.
So I had that in-house, support, and I was the youngest. So, it's some perks that come with that. Everybody, that's the baby, and they all root for the baby at certain times. So I had a lot of in-house support.
Yeah. Being the baby, man, it's always the perks, but always the challenges too, because that first one, that they always get the first of everything, and then that last one, he always got, or she always has to make do. But a lot of times, I was the youngest for about 8 years, and I was aggressive, man. Like you couldn't tell me nothing, but it it made for a great life, because I think my aggression helped me strive in many formats, many journeys, and that other people probably would have fell down in. So in your life with your brother, did he take you under his wing?
hell, can we cuss on here?
No, not much, but
Okay. Okay, because I almost cussed and I didn't want to cuss. Hell no. He here's the thing. See, and it wasn't his fault, but he's 7 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's understandable.
Right.
By the time I'm 7, he's 14. So
Yeah.
he's into girls and all this kind of stuff. But the thing that was cool was I was the little brother who just ran behind him.
Mm-hmm.
I watched everything he did. I'm digging through his drawers to find whatever. I don't even know what I'm looking for, and then I come across, that's where I came across my first rap at, was in his drawer, in his top drawer. And I pulled it out and read it and lost my mind. And, his favorite favorite player was George Gervin.
Yeah.
Now, my favorite player was Magic Johnson, right?
Uh-huh.
But in high school, because of my brother, I wore number 44 because of George Gervin. So it was just always one of those things where, he taught me how to talk to girls and, taught me how to, play basketball. And then it was like I was going to school with a Buddhist monk who was teaching me about music. He's like a wealth of just knowledge in just music all across the board. So that was, the role he played. And, all them first rap albums and going back before, I always tell people, we remember when there wasn't no rap.
Yeah.
So even going back before rap, when Cameo and Earth, Wind and Fire and Stevie Wonder and all of that.
Yeah.
He had all of those albums. And so that's the role he played, just giving me something to look to say, I like that. I want to do that. So that's the role he played.
What was the first rap that when you pulled that out, what was the first rap?
The one that I found in his drawer?
Yeah.
He said, look, they had a hook and everything. It was nice. It was nice. This was like, I would say 1980. We lived across the street from Green Bay Elementary School on 7th and Aber, right off of 7th and Capitol.
Yep, by Mesmer, yep.
And yep. And he said, I'm the T, the O, the N. Why? I'm the guy with the private eye. I could make you scream. I could make you dance. I could make the young ladies come out their pants. And when I saw that part, I'm 7 years old. When I saw that part, I lost my mind. And then he had a little hook called We Want to Move You. And he had a little song that went with it. We want to take you to another world. Like it was a hit. It's still a hit to me right now to this day. So I know he'd trip out if he heard this story, but yeah, that was it, bro. That was the moment. And then it was that moment. And I know you didn't ask me this, but the real big moment that got me into hip hop was these 3 dudes came up to Green Bay Elementary. Yeah. And they brought a big boom box up there and they stood in a line, bro. And they got to popping and waving. And we had never seen that before.
Yeah.
So all of that happened at the same time, Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
And that's what.
Hey, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that story in a minute because I got a question. I got questions how that relates to your songwriting. You're on the Grapevine with Manan Sabir, and we'll be right back with Sabir Shapiro.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkuprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Yes. Now we're back with Sabir Shapiro on the Grapevine, and in our truth. And I'm your host, Manan Sabir. You're in the Truth Radio Station 101.7. Listen, this is great. I'm excited. So Sabir, when you were in the experiencing the pop locking, and when you were experiencing the pop locking and the boom box going off, and cats, they was doing their thing, and I'm sure it was probably some guys like hood, rapping to be like hood.
That's how they all rap, yeah.
did they?
Yeah.
What was the feeling that came out of all of that? Because you ultimately went on to become a songwriter. We're just gonna put it out there, but you had to go through a process, right?
Definitely.
Tell me about the process.
So, I mean, when you say what came out of that. Now, see, once again, we're going back to the by the time hip hop had reached Milwaukee,
we're
looking at like 83, and it still wasn't there. Like 83, though, it floated through, and maybe 82, up in between 80 and 83, up in there, and Rapper's Delight with the Sugar Hill Gang came out, and then Curtis Blow had the Christmas rap, and then Run DMC, but the thing was, it was just being sprinkled. You understand? It wasn't saturated. It wasn't like you could just go to the radio and turn on the radio and just rap music is on. Nah, that didn't happen until the 90s. So to answer your question, when we first, and you got to remember, there was no rap before rap. So we're witnessing something new come onto the scene.
Right.
And for the first time, what came over me was, these dudes is so damn cool. Like they just like how did you get that cool?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember seeing other cool dudes before rapping. You was cool if you had the cool bike and you had the cool, some, I don't know, the headbands and wristbands and jackets and karate shoes. It was different stuff that made you cool, right?
Yeah.
If you know how to work nunchucks, all of that made you cool. But when these dudes came, they was talking and the music was going and people was. And it was like it seemed like how I want that kind of power.
Right.
That's the best way to explain it. I want to be able. I got something to say that y'all go like.
Yeah.
Like I could do that. Like that's the thing that came over me, and I couldn't. Man, I went home and wrote my first rap immediately.
What
Immediately.
What was that rap?
It was called Salary Increase.
Oh.
And I was on that out the gate. I just that's crazy. It was called Salary Increase. It was called Salary Increase, man.
You remember?
I said something like my salary. I think I said my salary increases year after year. When you keep a fresh salary, you keep fresh gear. Something I said, you know,
it's still relevant to today.
But yeah, like that was the feeling that came over me. Like I gotta go home and do this. You know, I gotta go home and do this.
So,
you know, and then that just kept building. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. So when you're writing songs and you like put all these processes together, like you find your brother's rap, you know, saying TONY, and then you find, you know, you start writing this, you know, rap, and you put all this together. You get to high school, college. Are you still writing?
I never stopped, bro. You know, like when I got to high school, I don't know if you remember Damon Key that used to play for Marquette.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
His brother, Lil Bit, his name is James Key. He got a brother the same size as Damon. He went to high school with me.
Yeah.
James freshman year. See, and this was the thing. Freestyle game was off the chain. Like all we did was freestyle.
Right.
That's all we did. We didn't have studios everywhere. It was probably one or two dudes in the city that would have a studio back then. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't really know those cats. But we mastering the beatbox. And now we on the city bus and we battling from 16th and Capitol where I get on all the way out. I got to ride out to 124th to Highway 100. We battling. Or when I'm in high school and I'm going to Dominican, now I got to go east on Capitol. I'm battling all the way from 16th and Capitol up to Oakland, back over to Bayshore on the bus. You know, and it was just that or after the basketball games.
Yeah.
All the teams back then, all the players would go to Rocky Rococo's. I'm taking heads off up in Rocky Rococo's. All back then.
On your squad and their squad.
Man, whoever come into Rocky Rococo's getting it. Period. Period. Especially back then, I wanted the smoke. Like, you know, I didn't even understand what battling meant. Yeah. You know, I just was here to just destroy you. You know, I didn't even know the strategics behind what you should be doing. And no, I just know I'm coming off the top of my head and I'm looking at what you're wearing. I'm going to rib you in this. I'm going to say something about your girl. I'm going to say that girl like me. Like I was just so into it, bro. Yeah. You know, it just, I was obsessed with it. So yeah, it was one of those things. Mm-hmm.
So when you write and you put all this together, when you write your songs, is it the lyrics first then? Are you coming up with the lyrics? Are you saying, man, this is, you know, these are the words, and then you put the melody in there, emotion? How does that work? What's the process?
I would say 90% of the time. And to me, writing raps is different than writing songs. I love writing songs. Writing raps, I think it could be a little overcomplicated because you got so many things to worry about.
Yeah.
Just because of the culture. You know, for me at least, when I write songs, I feel a little bit more free.
Yeah.
But usually with me, the lyrics come first. Like I'll hear something in my head. You know, like I just wrote a song the other day called Step Brother.
Yeah.
And the whole song, the concept came to me because I wish I could share my screen and rock it for you right quick. But the concept came to me because I had to call one of my guys in Chicago about doing some work down there, bringing some kids down to his museum that he got down there, taking them on a field trip around the city and showing them where Chief Keef and them record and Old Block and just the stuff these little kids is interested in.
Yep.
And
shout out to Chief Keef.
I hadn't talked to the brother in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah. That's one of our artists. But I haven't talked to the brother in a minute, and I met him through one of my other Muslim brothers, to a good brother.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, how do I call Merck and talk to him about this? I ain't talked to him, and how should I step to him? I said, well, I know him through my brother. And I said, well, I said he liked my brother, so I stepped to him like a brother.
Yeah.
Which made me think of the song Step Brother, which made me write the song Step to Me Like a Brother. You know, I wish I could share my screen and play it for you because it's coming up in the movie next month. But so yeah, I usually come up with lyrics or concept, because to me that's the key ingredient to a great song. I think I try to make good songs, people make them hits, we make them good, the people make them a hit. So I just try to have good concepts that that's gonna grow and age well if I look back 10, 15, 20 years from now.
When you were writing Coco Jones's album, what state of mind were you in when you were writing that, and what was going on in your life?
The time that I went in and worked with Coco Jones was really a pivotal moment, because what I had been doing up until then was I had been working with an actress by the name of Bella Thorne.
Yep.
And the way I got into that position is my close brother, who manages, he's been Chief Keef manager from the beginning. Once he signed Bella Thorne, you know, he called me when he had Chief Keef and said, bro, I got this new artist from Chicago. You want to come help out? Woo. And that wasn't really my lane. And I had just had a kid and I was making other moves. And so I passed up on that.
Yeah.
But then some years passed and he signed Bella Thorne.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a Disney star. She's a movie, actress.
Yep.
And when he brought me into that, I told him, yeah, I'll help you manage her if I can write for her, because she wanted to do rap music.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, man, come teach her how to rap. So that put me in the circle.
Yeah.
Because she was a movie star, and the movie stars know all the actors, actresses, athletes, and singers.
Right.
So between being with Chief Keef and Bella Thorne, that put me in the room with everybody you could think of.
Wow.
And then I linked up. Yeah, I was fortunate enough. It's a phenomenal artist. She's a writer. Her name is Midian Mathers. She got a few Grammys off of writing on Beyonce's Lemonade. And me and her met. She came over to our studio to work one day.
Yeah.
And I went in and started working with her, man, and we clicked. And that's what brought me into the Coco situation, because I worked with Midi on so much of her material and so many of her projects and songs that she was putting out there with other artists. So that was the pivotal moment right there. That's where it changed everything.
Hey, y'all, when we come back, we're going to ask Sabir Shapiro about health and how music changes the soul. When we come right back to the Grapevine.
For 250 years, our forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Yes. And now we're back.
Yeah.
We're back. Man, I cannot.
That's Sosa. That's Sosa right there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Chief Keef joints. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Shout out to Chief Keef.
Yeah.
Where you at, Chief Keef? Call in 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. Chief Keef, call in.
That's right. That's right.
Man, we gonna call him out. He in Chicago anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Well, so when you were writing, just real quick, when you were writing Coco Jones' album, this is the Other Side of Love. Am I right?
Well, the song that I wrote is called "Other Side of Love." That I wrote with Mitty and Coco. I wrote the second verse on that song, and the name of her it was on her debut album called "Why Not More."
Right. What did when you went into those conversations, how did you tap into like her emotional wavelength, her emotional frequency?
You know what? That's a great question. First of all, Coco, the only thing that is more beautiful than her physical appearance, because she's a beautiful young lady, is her personality.
And that's what matters. Yep.
She is an absolute sweetheart. Okay. And Coco is like 27 or 28 now. When I worked with Coco, she was 22. We did this song back in 01.
Yeah.
Not 01, 21. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We did the song back in 21. So she hadn't even ventured out on her. Like, she was doing songs and doing music and releasing singles and doing stuff for Disney, because she was a Disney star too.
Yeah.
But she hadn't made her first LP or EP or album or anything. So, the way that whole incident happened was my homegirl, who I was telling you about, Mitty, she was in the studio with Coco. Now, me and Mitty have been cooking up stuff for Beyonce, Rihanna. I mean, we're working. She's connected to everybody. So, we're cutting songs to send to these artists, right?
Right.
So Mitty's manager called her and said she wanted her to come in and work with Coco. And Mitty said, okay, cool. So Mitty went in and was working with Coco.
Right.
And they did on the song Other Side of Love, they did the first verse. Okay. I don't know why I can't get your love out of my mind. It's like
Y'all, we lost Sabir. Sabir, we're gonna try to reconnect this virtual world. That means we need to have you in the studio. Let's get you back. Hey, that was getting fire. That was getting fire. That was going very, very well. We're trying to get Sabir Shapiro back. So hopefully,
Hey, bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We're good. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I don't know where it cut off.
Where Mitty, you were
did it
talking
cut
about
off?
just getting out of your mind. You were talking. It was the lyrics talking about mind.
Yeah, they had written the first verse and they got stuck.
Yeah.
And Mitty called me and she was like, Sabir, what are you doing? Mitty gave me a nickname because when I was writing with her, she'd be like, oh my God, those is bars. Like, I'll give her a line. She'd be like, oh, those is bars.
Yeah.
So once I gave her a line, she was like, your name is Young Barcelona. That's your name, Barcelona. So she called me and
Oh,
she's like,
that's fire.
yeah, I know that was hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she called me. She said, Barcelona, what you doing? And I was at Bella's house just watching TV. I said, just watching TV over at B House. And she said, I'm in the studio with Coco Jones. You know who that is? I was like, nah. She was like, look her up on IG and man, just come down. We're working on a song and we're on the second verse. We're sort of stuck.
Yeah.
You feel like coming through? So I was like, cool. So I slid, went in. They was just kicking and talking and they put the song on.
Yeah.
And I told them let it run, and they ran. And then I'm talking to Coco. Where are you from? How old are you? Her name is Courtney, so I said, "Can I call you Courtney?" And she said, "I don't mind." Sweetheart. Both of her parents. Her father was a professional football player, so I'm talking to her so I could get to know her,
Right.
to try to get a feel for what kind of person she is. And she's a church girl. Like in my opinion, I wish they she should be our next Whitney Houston if they roll her out the right way. Okay.
Wow.
But she's a church girl. So when I'm listening to the music and I'm talking to her, I say, okay, I got it. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, you got your, I was like, yep, let's go. So I went in and they played it. And I said, I put some little dramatic with it. And I said, I wasn't looking for love. I know what it does. I had enough. I'm not giving up. I know I try, but I can't run and hide. So I'm patient with us. Sabir means patient.
Yeah.
Other side of love is bigger than us. I freestyled it right there on the spot.
Yeah.
Coco went in there, she sang it back, and the rest was history. Next thing we know, Alicia Keys was doing the remix.
What?
So yeah, that's how that worked out.
That's wild. It's always
Yeah.
it's always that. And do you feel like when you go into this music world that you're working, and all of us are partaking in this, but do you feel like you're working to heal the community?
Wow. This may sound selfish,
Mm-hmm.
but indirectly, I be trying to heal myself.
Damn.
And in that healing,
I feel you.
if somebody else can get healed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another reason why I like writing songs more. Rap got so much bravado. That's what separates spoken word poetry, because that has that vulnerability where you can tap into your feelings. You can't really do that over a hardcore beat
Yeah.
and translate it into sales. So yeah, a lot of, especially what I'm working on now. Like I'm working on this project for this movie right now, and especially because it's a movie that's dealing with the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's called relative roulette. It's like Russian roulette, but with family. So it's all of these dynamics that's going on in the Black community, and it's written by a Black writer, and and directed by a Black director and a Black producer out of Philadelphia. And they've had me score this movie and write songs that's really dealing with, I feel like I'm on some space age, like I'm on my Marvin Gaye right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on, and Mercy Mercy, like it's all in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Where and that's cool with me, because I can't do the surface superficial. I got this, I got that, I shot everybody, I got all the money, all the women like me. It's only so far you can go with that.
Right.
But when you talk about the socio ills and the socio-economics and the socio-political and all of the different issues that's going on, especially with us in this day and age as Black people,
Yeah.
I could write forever about that.
If you didn't wake up, if you and I had a conversation earlier, and a lot of us are going through what we see in the entertainment industry as kind of a catharsis of health. And a lot of our young writers, also artists, have been taken over by either the health bug and or the unhealthy bug. they're going out, it's like late nights, Percocets, the whole nine. I know, and that becomes a culture. But your culture is completely different, especially as a songwriter. What are you doing to take care of yourself and maintain your health?
Stop living in LA. And I'm being dead serious, because it's a twofold thing, because on one hand you can live in LA.
Yeah.
You can live in LA and they got the healthiest food.
Yeah.
And it's on the go. Like there's a McDonald's and a Popeyes on every corner back in the Midwest.
Yeah.
There's health spots that got really good food out there.
Yeah.
But now you have to factor in the other things. And what I meant by that was, okay, the life I live, if I'm out there, now I got to be I don't have to be, but I'm at events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at parties.
Yeah.
Everything out there make you feel like you have to be there.
Right.
Like just even with the Grammys, this last Grammys we was at, I made an intentional act on myself to, after the Grammys, and you're the first person I told this in public.
Yeah.
But like, oh, we got to go to the parties, and we got to go to the party. And my manager got me a room at the Beverly Hills Hotel, because that's where the biggest after party is. And Lauryn Hill and Justin Bieber and everybody came, and my daughter and my nephew was there, and I brought them out with me. I got them in the party, bro. I went back upstairs to my room. I'm talking about Jamie Foxx. Everybody was at this party. I went back up to my room and watched old episodes of Dallas on YouTube and ordered room service. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on my Dave Chappelle, ish. I'm on my, like the industry is not. I don't ride. I don't. I'm not doing none of that.
Right.
And. You know what I'm saying? And these are just people out here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to get caught up, because when you get in that wave, I am who I am, but these celebrities or these producers or writers, whoever they may be, they all got egos, man. They all think and I don't want to be around that. I'm a down to earth cat. That's why me and you cool. I like to chop it up with people that's down to earth, real, ain't no big eyes and little U's. And, I ain't with all of that. So and out of there, and I try to get my walking in. And like I told you earlier today, man, my juicer came, got dropped off today from. So I've always, I fall off. My weight will fluctuate. I'll do really great.
Yeah.
Then I think I got it together, and you learn it's a lifestyle, bro, and discipline. You know better than anybody. That's why I called you, telling you I need you to put me a regimen together.
And y'all, when we come back, we're gonna get into that regimen. We're gonna get into juicing. We're gonna get into what makes Sabir a healthy individual and what's gonna maintain him for the rest of his life. You're in the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. Let's come right back.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a united way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Know how hard that I've tried. I do it all again twice. For your love I would fight.
Man.
That's my girl right there.
Man. That song right there, man. Wow. Whew. You do all this, your journey is mighty, and you're taking care of yourself. You're looking to take care of yourself. And you and I had a discussion earlier. What do you think are your questions about juicing? Because you said something which is profound earlier, I think, while we were on the phone. And you don't just want to live to be just live. You want to live a long, healthy life, pretty much. And
yeah.
And I know that that's important. And earlier I had mentioned I have an aunt that's 102, and she looks like she about 70, late 70s. I mean, just tall, vibrant. Like she got a long ways to go. It's not going to end for a while for her. But you bought a juicer, and you're like, you know what? Time to take this to the next level. And I know there's a correlation between being healthy and not just songwriting, but thinking too. Because when you're healthy, you can think at such a high level and also manifest things at such a rate that people start to look at you like you're magical. And
like you got a cheat code.
That you got a cheat code. Yep. And so now we're on the discussion of juicing. You had a few questions, so we can actually tackle some of those questions now.
Yeah, well, the thing is it's a couple things that you just said that made me pause and think. Like, one of the things that I do, like, I need to get my diet together.
Yeah.
Okay. Like when we was talking earlier, I said you don't know no old obese people.
Yeah.
You don't know no fat people in their or obese people in their 70s and 80s.
Right.
Really, you don't know them in their 60s. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to get my diet together for all the obvious reasons. But the one thing that I do that I've started like maybe 8 years ago, that I think made all the difference in the world is I do get my meditation in. That's the game changer for me, because it starts with how you think. You know, and to have, we're so worried about our body, but our mental health.
Yeah.
And I try to, one of my biggest things that I hate to see, and that I would hate to see happen to anyone, is people that lose their mind.
Yeah.
And like they're in the stresses of life, and the anxiety is so much that your intelligence turns against you.
Yeah.
And So I try to stay on top of that. Meditation helps me stay centered. It helps me stay I don't want to say it keeps me in alignment with where I want to go, even when I get out of alignment, because they give you different practices to tell you how to, because we're not perfect and we'll have wrong thoughts and wrong things, but don't punish yourself. Face back in the direction that you intend on going, and keep on going in that direction. So that led up to, I've been getting my 4 miles walking in every day, but I know my diet isn't right, and that made me say, I got a brother who ran a successful and has a successful business in juicing.
Right.
And look at him, look at his body. He's healthy, he's muscles, he's active. His brother can flip, kick, do all kind of stuff. And I need to tighten up, and I need to find a way that's sustainable for me. That's why I called you, because I want to find something that can help me have more energy, vitality, clearer thinking, look my best, let them shirts and stuff fall on you the right way, and the V and all that, and I've never tried juicing, so I know a juicing master. So that's how we got to this point.
And
I was hoping you would put a protocol together for me.
I got you a protocol. It's a real protocol. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of times we feel like when we're juicing to take in a whole lot of juice because we're trying to stay away from starvation, and that's not the case. It's when you're juicing, if you take that out of your mind and you maintain this level of mental agility, mental toughness, when you're juicing, you can make it past any type of hiccup. I had a gentleman, this is real quick, I had a gentleman who, shout out to Luke, he was about 420 and he wound up juicing and he lost about 200 pounds, close to 2.
Wow.
And it took him a while. It was a part of a challenge, but he really challenged himself, because after a while, it was less the challenge and more of knowing that he had to live for his family, and he wound up keeping it off pretty much for the most part. I think some of it came back on because of just life, but when you're juicing, the main thing is to recognize that you don't have to juice as soon as you wake up, and you want your body to be in this state of autophagy, and also you also want your body, when you break that state of autophagy and your body's kind of feasting on ketones, then when you break it, you want to put something very nutritious in it. So it can be, and I'll put this together for you, but for the most part, we're just talking to folks, right? It can be like a smoothie. So you have a smoothie. Your smoothie can be, I don't know, kale, cucumbers, apple, hemp seeds, and freaking bananas. And then the rest of your day can be juices. And as we age, people in our contemporary ages, you have to do less fruit and more vegetables. So majority of your diet should be, 90%, especially if you're juicing, 90% vegetables and 10% fruit. Now the 10% in terms of ratio in a juice has to be the fruit. So 10% fruit in the juice if you're making a juice. If you're making a smoothie, same exact thing. And you don't always want a large scale variety, but you just want something that's really consistent across the board. You keep that in your refrigerator and you just drink it as much as you possibly can. The other thing is,
okay, that's the question I have, bro. That's the question I have.
Yeah.
With juicing, can I drink as much as I want?
With juicing, you can drink as you're going to get full, especially if you're out in Cali. They do have fresh farmers market. So if you are drinking nutritious vegetables and fruits, you're going to get full almost instantly. It's going to happen. So with those farmers market vegetables, you're going to it's going to be instant. So you're not, yes, you can drink as much as you possibly can first starting out, but your body is going to kind of rear back, and you're going to learn, okay, and with your schedule, you're going to learn, okay, I have to turn it on and turn it off. When you get used to turning it on and turning it off, you're going to find that there are specific periods of time throughout the day that you're going to crave that juice, and there's specific periods of time where you're going to be like, well, I can't do it. I'm walking 4 miles. I can't do it. That's an hour long, however, hour and a half worth of walking. And then you just kind of keep that in your journal. So my thing is, because you're in a natural state, you want to provide yourself with listening to your body first, especially at this age.
Right.
And you already know what your body needs. So you probably are not a morning breakfast type of person. And if you are, it's not large.
Right. No, I can not break fast until afternoon.
Exactly. So your body is naturally telling you to not go into a food state, and it still wants to be in a fasting state. What destroys a person's diet is that their sugar levels drop, but then also their protein levels, they start craving protein. So yeah. Do you got man, we gotta get on some more phone calls because we're running out of time. I don't know if you have more time after this, but man, we are running out of time. I cannot wait to talk to you. And I know I don't want to hold your schedule up, but real quick, if you had to say one thing to a songwriter in Milwaukee, what would it be?
Don't wait on nobody and don't hate on nobody. Keep doing your work. Okay, the game will find you. Stay true to yourself and write what's true to you. I haven't listened to the radio in years, and when I do listen to music, I don't listen to nothing that was made after 2000. I don't want to sound like anyone. I don't want to talk about what anyone else is talking about, and if we do, I don't want to talk about it like they're talking about it. So I think originality is the biggest thing, and it's so hard for people to be themselves in a world full of copycats. But I guarantee you that thing that you do and you try that ain't nobody else doing, that's what's going to work.
Sabir Shapiro, thank you so much, brother. I really, really love you. I really appreciate you. And you're on the Grapevine with your brother. You're more than welcome to come back. I'm going to call you right after we take these messages, and we're going to make sure we stay in contact.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Thank you for
Definitely.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming.
you, brother.
All right, my brother. Peace.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love. and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL, Milwaukee, a Milwaukee Black media company.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
Woo! Welcome back. Man, that beat is fire. Zach, man, you killing it today. You kill it every day. Man, but today, fantastic. Yes. We're back. We are back. We had Sabir Shapiro, Grammy-nominated artist, Grammy-nominated writer for Coco Jones. He was on the Grapevine with us. Just a reminder, the 4 o'clock hour, we got Tap In with Jazz, Tyler, and Meech. So y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned on 101.7 The Truth Radio. I know that conversation today is going to be fire. They got a really special guest. So make sure you keep this channel locked to 101.7 The Truth. And if you're just joining us, welcome back to the Grapevine. I am your host, Manan Sabir, and we've had an incredible conversation today. About childhood obesity. I think I want to tap right back into that because that's important. So it's important because we are in our Mindful Movement Mondays. Remember that, Mindful Movement Mondays. And I was just talking to people about doing something 1% better than the last day. Doing things 1% better. You got to do it a little bit better than the previous day. You wake up. If you don't wake up with a smile, wake up with a smile. If you don't wake up and jump out the bed and meditate and pray and wash your face, wake up, jump out the bed, meditate, wash your face, and pray. That's 1%. It's a little bit of time. Takes about 4 or 5 minutes to make it happen. Take that 4 or 5 minutes and affirm yourself. Look in the mirror and have a life-giving affirmation to you. Put on your own mask and make it happen. Put on your own mask. You ain't got to talk to the kids right away. I mean, they going to want to talk, especially if it's a newborn. You gonna want to, but you got to take care of yourself first. Kids may be crying in the background. Somebody's calling you, whatever it is. Take care of yourself first. So, but I want people to know that Mindful Movement Mondays is not just about movement. It's not just about physical movement, but it's moving your mind. It's moving that internal functioning. It's moving your families. Moving the families, coalescing around one thing, one mission, and making it happen. Moving our finances. Move your finances. Everybody's not necessarily worried about finances, but there's a lot of people who are worried about finances. I really want to address that. We're going to bring some more people on about finances. Somebody call us about finance. Somebody call 833-212-1017. Yes. And we got to move our communities forward. Just 1%. Just 1%. If you're dealing with noise in the community, if you're dealing with violence in the community, if you're dealing with whatever, and it's something that's annoying you, talk to your alder person, call the alder person. They're there. They get paid. Our alder people, our mayor, our political officials, they're not just in it for a paycheck. They have to serve. That is their job. That is their job to serve. They are to serve you. They are not to pick up the phone and cuss you out. They are to listen. They are to observe. They are to serve. That's their job. So call them and help them move their dial. Help them. Because the more you help them, the more they can help you. Let the issues be known, especially in our communities. So earlier today we talked about marriage, and not necessarily talked about marriage, but we celebrated a friend of mine. We celebrated a friend of mine who got married. We celebrated a friend of mine who also had a child, and that's what it's about. That's what life is about. It's about celebrating the people who, and yourself, under the umbrella of thriving rather than surviving. A lot of us are surviving, but how many of us are thriving? Put it in the chat. How many, raise your hand if you are thriving right now. Let's not even talk about surviving. Put it in the chat. How many of you are actually thriving? Make it happen. Thriving. We talked about Juneteenth a little bit. It's a tiny bit from last week. Talked about we're talking about our kids. I'm gonna stay on the kids. I'm gonna stay on the kids because the kids, we don't talk about our babies enough. We talk about the issues out in the public, but if you are revolutionary, I got something to say. If you are a revolutionary, you got a mouthpiece, and you out here doing the thing, doing the dang thing. You're talking about this. You're talking about communities. You're talking about politics. You're talking about history. You're talking about this, talking about that. But as a revolutionary, what are you doing? Because physically, if you can't get up out the bed, if you are at home and you go to your refrigerator and you are the revolutionary, as the revolutionary, pulling out, Funyuns, or what type of snacks are there? What type of snacks, Zach? There's a bunch of snacks. People got snacks. But you pulling out the snacks, and then you turn around as a revolutionary and you haul off and you start giving somebody else hell. You ain't committing to the revolution in your own crib. If you are overweight as a revolutionary, and you're telling this kid that, man, he need to go to the basketball court. They need to get off the video games. No, you need to get off the couch and go grab that kid and take them to the basketball court and play with that kid. Make sure that matter of fact, grab 10 other kids that are on the porch playing the video games, whatever they doing, and go to the court. That's how important this is. Because if you can't do that, if you don't wake up, there's no more you. There's no more you. You got to, that has to be your next move. That has to be your next move. You can't, it's hard to be a revolutionary when you sucking down, the toxins that you trying to keep out of the community. That's a rough one. It's hard to see that. I'm talking about we can go down the list. We can definitely go down the list. A cigar, a cigarette, the weed. It's hard. It's hard, especially if the kids who are looking for you to make a change, especially if they seeing you do the opposite. It's hard to even it's hard for them to even look at that as something serious. Y'all, we got to change. Straight up. What's your next move? Honestly, what's your next move? Are you surviving? Revolutionaries, are y'all surviving or thriving? Because if you're thriving, you making changes right now. We got a lot of revolutionaries who talk the big game, but ain't living the big game. And that goes for all of us, me included. Very few people, everybody wants to change. Everybody wants to change, but very few people want to change. Yep. That's real. I remember Lincoln Park used to be packed, super packed. And sometimes when you out playing at Lincoln Park, McGovern, some of the other places, we'd have some of the political figures come out there, give a shot or two, maybe play a couple games. Like, where is that at? Where are those political figures doing that at? Do we even have some of those politicians coming out? Y'all, or somebody call out a politician, tell them, challenge that politician to a basketball game or a tag football game or a double dutch game or hopscotch. Challenge your politician. Make it known. If you gonna if you're gonna be a part of the revolution, it has to be a physical revolution first. It has to. The more you move your body, the better it is for the rest of the community. Your internal community, your self community, and then also the external community, the one in which you live. That's what's gonna not hold Milwaukee back. That change. Straight up. Milwaukee, are you surviving or are you thriving? Give me a shout. 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. And this show is sponsored by American Family Insurance, a proud sponsor of The Truth. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to helping families protect what matters most: your home, your vehicle, and the dreams you're building every single day. And if you're part of the Truth audience, you already know you work hard for yours. That's why having the right protection in place matters. American Family helps you stay ready for whatever life brings so you can focus on moving forward. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Hey, y'all, take a break. We're going to come right back. We're going to talk about what's going on in Milwaukee and how we can make it better.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
Don't let summer pass you by. Turn it all the way up at Summerfest. The music, the moments, the memories you'll replay all year long. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. June 18th through July 4th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Yes. I'm glad we are back. To our lovely Grapevine, and we're going to pick some grapes. We're going to pick these grapes. I love the fact that we're able to talk about childhood obesity on this platform, because it is quite simply one of the largest topics that isn't being talked about enough. And I want to make sure that we kind of drill down on this, especially in the summertime, because we have a lot of children who are out of school, and they may be a part of a particular program, a summer academy program, a club, a whatever program in their neighborhood and or outside of their neighborhood. But I know that there are a lot of parents who are increasing the amount of work that they're doing, especially during the summertime, because they want to make a lot more money for themselves and their children during this period of time, so they can either take trips, pay the bills, and or both. But I know that we have a problem with our kids and how we are treating them in relationship to cost of living, and also where that cost of living ties into how the kids are being fed. And I know that there's been an estimated $1,700, give or take, over the past year that Wisconsin families will basically pay an extra $1,700 that Wisconsin families will pay or more in 2026 at the grocery store, buying new appliances or more appliances and school supplies and just basically everyday stuff. So our kids are definitely falling not just behind academically, where if you take a look at even some of the statistics, 9% of the fourth graders tested in Milwaukee are proficient or even are better at reading. Some, there was a 15% show basic achievement. So, and 73% scored below basic proficiency. And that's in Milwaukee public schools. And what are we doing? What are we doing as a community? Because it's just not the teachers. Teachers aren't to blame, or just to blame. This, we have some teachers who are great, but we have some teachers who are absolutely not gonna say horrendous, but they're not the best. But it's up to us as principals in our own home to address those specific needs. And one thing I can assure to most parents is that when you have a child that is fed right, when you have a child that is fed proper nutrition, they don't go to school falling asleep. They don't go to school hungry. They will not go to school and have those kind of social norms that will play out in a classroom where that child will basically is basically asking for proper nutrition. Like there's something in health, we call it mood food. You feed a child some garbage, you're going to get garbage. But you feed a child some healthy food, you're going to get a healthy child, a healthy thought, a healthy mind. You're definitely going to get that from a child. So please, if you are in the school as a teacher, as an adult, give yourself some grace, because we're not coming down on you. But also, if you are in the classroom and you haven't revolutionized yourself and you're still serving out snacks to children, then you are also part of the problem. Now, I know it's hard to get away from. It's hard to get away from because it's become the ideal normalcy to when children do their thing, when they get rewarded, they get these little sugary items. But what if you say, you know what, we're gonna do some ants on a log. Ants on a log is a cucumber with peanut butter and raisins. Get that to the babies, or get that to the young teenagers. That's okay. It is okay. They will survive. They're not gonna be mad at you. They're gonna look at that. They're gonna be like, I don't want that. You probably find some in the garbage, but the more and more you do it, by month number 2, month number 3, they're gonna find that, you know, that stuff is a lot healthier than the sugary items that you're giving out. So I'm suggesting that we do a lot better. Now I'm gonna switch topics because I missed a topic last week and I wanted to address it. I want to address it now. And it was something that happened about a week and a half ago at the UFC fight that I didn't mention. A gentleman by the name of Josh Hokett. He had one of the biggest moments of his life. He beat this guy. His name is Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is a black guy from Texas, and he's a big knockout artist in the UFC at the UFC 250 on the White House lawn. Josh Hokett used to be a former NFL running back. He was kind of good enough he's an athlete, so he made it to the NFL. He did his thing. He retired from the NFL, and now he's fighting in the UFC. He beats this guy. He then gets into this interview, and Joe Rogan is the interviewer. When people are clapping for him, he gets and he says something to another fighter, hey, I want to do something, whatever, with you. And then he says a disrespectful comment about former First Lady Michelle Obama. And whether or not you agree with Michelle Obama's politics or not, I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about is respect. I'm talking about the respect that you are to have, especially for black women, in not just black women worldwide. I want that to but we're talking about black women in America. We're talking about black women in America. Like, Michelle Obama is one of the most admired and also decorated black women in modern history. She served as First Lady. They had a successful, out of all the First Ladies they just basically moved the whole entire family reunion inside of the White House. Like they had, Michelle, they had 2 girls, they had a black president that walked like he was straight out of like the Actors Guild, stunt doubling for Denzel. They had grandma. They had grandma. Grandma would get, from what I know, I'm pretty sure grandma would probably get in that kitchen like, Ma, y'all, the chef, move out the way. I'm about to make these make these collard greens, whatever, and then start serving that up. Kept the girls in line, the whole 9. So Michelle has inspired millions of young girls to believe in themselves. She's written best-selling books. She's promoted healthy eating, education on the White House lawn. They had, DJs on the White House lawn, and they had, picnic what was it, Easter egg hunts, and they had music and all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, when they first came into the White House, they played Earth, Wind, and Fire. So around the world, she represents intelligence, dignity, and excellence. And yet, even someone with that record, like so far removed from this guy, Josh Hokett, became the target of insults, target of an insult instead of a thoughtful something. He had one of the world's largest stages, and he couldn't bring himself to say something that was dignified to where he can gain even more followers and fans from that perspective. And that is an atrocity, to embarrass yourself on a large stage like that. You could tell from his rant that he definitely didn't know what to say. So he wound up saying something real crazy about somebody he doesn't know. But what we do know is that, and what I do know is that black women are, and all people, but especially black women, are related to the first, or the mitochondrial Eve. And if you don't realize who the mitochondrial Eve is, the mitochondrial Eve is and was a lady, and they kind of drilled down where she was living. I think it was Uganda. The mitochondrial Eve was the lady who basically, give or take, saved all of mankind. And I'm going to talk about the mitochondrial Eve and how it relates back to how we need to respect women, especially black women, when we come back from our break.
Make your home and family safer by properly getting rid of nasty chemicals and fire hazards. MMSD's Home Hazmat program offers 3 drop-off centers that are open all year long. It's fast and easy. You don't even have to get out of your car. And it's free to visit a drop-off. Lithium-ion batteries, old gas, propane tanks, they take all of that and more. For a list of things you can and cannot bring, locations and hours, go to MMSD.com. Milwaukee County residents only. No businesses.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flysshf.org and ask for an application.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Knicks fans everywhere are still basking in the glow of their team's first NBA championship since 1973. John Rogers is founder, chairman, and co-CEO of Ariel Investments, one of the largest and longest-running black-owned investment firms in the country, and one of the largest shareholders of MSGS stocks. That's Madison Square Garden Sports, the larger company that includes the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers. He says coming off the Knicks' big win, the timing could be right to split off the stock into at least two distinct companies.
I think it'll make it much easier for a private equity investor to put capital into either of the companies or both companies. It'll be easier for Jim Dolan if he wants to sell one of the companies. He might want to sell at these all-time highs as the stocks have done so extraordinarily well. Get out on top and realize the valuation will probably never be higher than what's happening during this environment after this iconic championship.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Yes. Welcome back to the Grapevine. We're going to pick some more grapes about Mitochondrial Eve. But first, remember to tune in to Jazz Tyler. Her show is coming up next, and they're going to have DJ Jerry and Super Dope Q on it. I'm telling you, this I've just met Super Dope Q, honestly, and Super Dope Q is cold. I like Super Dope Q. That's quite a name, Super Dope Q. Man, listen, y'all tap in with Jazz 4 o'clock after I get off the air. I'm gonna tell y'all some more about Mitochondrial Eve. So I'm gonna teach a little bit. Scientists use the term mitochondrial Eve. We all are made up of mitochondria, and Mitochondrial Eve is used to describe the most recent woman from whom all living human beings inherited their DNA from. So if you are a human being, you literally got your DNA, your modern DNA, from this lady who they call the Mitochondrial Eve. Now, there are plenty of Eves because that's a general name that has been given to people around, women throughout the annals of time. If you can't call them this, then you can call them Eve. All right? Y'all go look it up. So we inherited our mitochondrial DNA from the Mitochondrial Eve and this has been shown through an unbroken line. So if you say, man, I'm just whatever, and I'm just this, and I'm just that, well, you ain't just that. You are related to a black woman in Uganda, literally. So let me be clear. Mitochondrial Eve was not the first woman. She was not the only woman alive. But science points to a lady in Africa as the origin of this maternal line that we're all a part of. So that means every person listening, black, and there's different forms of black. right? You could be Ghanaian, Nigerian, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, you name it. You can be all of that, right? So you're just not just that. So you can be black, you can be white meaning European, any type of European in that line, right? Whatever. Asian, any type of Asian. Latino, any type of Latino. Native, any type of Native. Everybody has a maternal story. Everybody has a maternal story that leads back to Africa. Now I'm going to tie this into Josh Hokett's disrespect of our beloved Michelle Obama. She didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve someone to tell her, say some disrespect. I'm not even going to say nothing about what he said. I'm not going to say that exact phrase, but I am going to say that even you, Josh Hokett, even you have a history in Africa. So all of us have come from this mitochondrial Eve. So you just kind of are like poo-pooing on basically your sister. This is kind of wild. This is wild. So before we disrespect black women, we need to remember something. Every one of us came through this woman. We came through. Every one of us was carried by a woman who had a mother line dating back to this mitochondrial Eve. So when a woman rises to the level of Michelle Obama and has risen to the level of Michelle Obama, look at what they did down there, and she was up on stage and made her husband cry. She is just not standing for herself. And like I said, you can disagree with the politics and say what you want. That's on you. But she represents mothers, grandmothers, aunties, teachers, nurses, church nurses, organizers, church mamas, mosque mamas, business owners, and little black girls like my daughter Sahar. She represents all of them on a larger stage because this is media. And those individuals see themselves in her. So not only do we have a gentleman who is related to the mitochondrial Eve in Africa, by the way, in Africa, you just ain't a European dude. You have African blood. Trust that. Not only do we have this person disrespecting, but we have a multitude of people who are from that genre of culture, that white culture, that will press down on black women to make them seem like they're less than or secondary citizens. That ain't the case. So as a man, as a black man, we're standing toe to toe in front of you, Josh Hokett. We're letting you know that ain't the right thing. That's not right. That ain't cool. I got a mama, and my mother has sacrificed a lot. There's 5 children in, however many grandchildren. I ain't gonna even say the number. 5 children in, however many grandchildren, and she, to this day, I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give y'all something. This weekend, my grandfather is 90, 91, 92, something like that. and my mother's back isn't the best, but she wanted to go down and clean my granddad's house. So we go down there, and I'm like upset with her when she starts getting into the house and starts cleaning. I'm like, you're not supposed to be cleaning. You're supposed to be sitting down and allow me to clean the house so you feel rested when you go back home. Not an ounce of sit down happened. She stayed up on her feet for 2 hours and helped clean that man's house. Now, he got a 2-story townhouse with basically 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and cleaned that entire place. So when we talk about the power in which black women have, man, it's uncanny that they are not only some of the most powerful individuals on the planet, but it's also uncanny that they are more closely related to the mitochondrial Eve, the woman that basically saved mankind. Because at that period of time, and I'm going to tell y'all this, there's a study on mitochondrial Eve, and they said at the point in which mitochondrial Eve came, the world's population was down to, they had a number, I think it was like 150,000 people. 150,000 people, I think, or less. And she was able to expand this population to where we have it now. We have at least 7+ billion people on Earth, and all of us don't even recognize this. That's Josh Hokett. Trust that. And then we have a rising domestic violence thing, statistics going on. Can't happen. Can't happen. Those women, especially those black women, and I'm not excluding women at all, but especially those black women, have a lot of points to prove. And they can continue to prove those points for as long as they want, because they have not only the ordained audacity, but they also have the history and to talk about what they need to talk about in this world, and also to help lead it. So are y'all surviving or thriving? Please answer that poll. Are y'all surviving or thriving? But text me back. Text me or call me. 833-212-1017. How are you respecting the woman in your life? How are you respecting the woman in your life? Guys, or whoever. The woman could be your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your auntie. What are y'all doing? Hit me back and let me know. We're going to take these breaks, couple of breaks, and we're going to come right back.
The performing arts do more than entertain. They bring the community together. From live performances and arts education to free community events, UPATH helps support the organizations that keep southeastern Wisconsin vibrant. But it only happens because of people like you. Every gift helps keep the arts accessible and inspiring for the entire community. Join thousands of supporters and give today at upaf.org. UPATH. One gift, regional impact.
The Homeward Blow Foundation, Inc., nonprofit 501c3, and our presenting sponsor, Beta Philanthropies, Inc., invites you to the 32nd annual Homeward Blow birthday party for the kids on Saturday, June 27th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. for kids ages 2 to 13 years old at the Fitzsimmons Boys and Girls Club and Metcalf School, located at 3400 West North Avenue on 34th and North. Admission is absolutely free, and after 32 years, you already know how it goes down. And this year, don't miss the kids' phone party. Shout out to our platinum sponsors, the Office of Early Childhood Initiative, Mighty Small Moments, the Brewers Community Foundation, Spectrum, and West Care, Wisconsin. Our gold sponsors, Maleka Early Learning Center, Liquid, formerly the Oasis, Unite WI, Community Health Primary Care Services, LLC, the Greater Milwaukee Urban League, Eisenberg, Riley, and Zimmerman, and the New Pitts Mortuary. Our silver sponsors, Mr. B's Privilege Lounge and Dog City, along with Running Rebels and Griffin CDL Institute. Limited vendor spaces available. If you'd like to support or make a donation, email homerblowfoundation@gmail.com or call 414-248-4954.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Yes, we're back. We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna pick some more grapes on the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, and this is the 101.7 The Truth radio station, and we are back. Hey, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not done yet, but I want to tell you guys, thank y'all for tuning in. This is a fantastic test for me and love journey. A lot of times you hear the voice, but you don't, and you hear the voice, but you don't see the pain. And there's a lot of journey behind the people that are on this station. There's a lot of trials and triumphs that the individuals on our channel are making it through. And I like to give each and one of our radio station hosts a round of applause for making it through life. Y'all are amazing. Y'all all are amazing, from Homer Blow, Bailey Coleman, Sherwin, Shannon, Ray, Meech, Jazz, and then including I'm put air on in my mask, including myself, being a dad to a 6-year-old that is, has autism, and they're coming out with a lot more available studies to help parents navigate the autistic world, the spectrum world, the world of neurodivergency. They're coming out with better studies and better tips, and we just are thriving. We're thriving. We're not just surviving, but we're thriving, I should say. Majority of us are thriving. All of us in this station are thriving. Shout out to Zech, Xavier, and also Biko, and whoever else I haven't mentioned. Y'all all are amazing. So make sure y'all give yourselves a round of applause. Go treat this Monday like it's a Friday. Have some fun, straight up. I started today's show with the Grapevine 1% Challenge on Mindful Movement Mondays. And I want to tell everybody, I want to give people assignments. I want to give everybody assignments. You know what? You got to walk 20 minutes. You got to walk. Here's your assignment. Walk 20 minutes. Get outside. You went to Juneteenth. Me and Meech were walking past somebody who said, this lady, what did the lady say? She said she was so fat or something about she had to sit down. She probably walked a good two hours though. She was like, I gotta walk, I gotta sit down and finish. I gotta sit down because I'm too fat. Like she said to herself as we were passing, she was like, she gotta change her health. She gotta change the way she, her health. So if you were listening, young lady, please change it. It's all good. It's all good. We was walking past you, so if you recognize us, please, you can call in too. But she said you had to change her health. So get out and walk 20 minutes. Walk 20 minutes. Read 20 minutes. Read at least 20 minutes a day. Try to pick a book. Go to the library. We have a brand new library, MLK Library on Martin Luther King and Locust Street. That's in Milwaukee. Go to that library. Got some really good books. It's a great library. Go there and grab a book and read the pages. One thing I learned from one of my guys, he said, if you are writing, please write. But if you are reading, things become kinetic. And you want them to start. Kinetic means attraction. Kinetic means things come flowing in and also connecting to the outward environment. Start drinking water. Start drinking water. Start drinking the alkaline water. Alkaline. Like when people say alcoholic, start drinking some alkaline water. Straight up. Get that alkaline water in. Start drinking it. Also, if you can, support one local business. We had all those businesses during Juneteenth. We want to be able to support at least one of those businesses because that's important. Cyclical economics is important. Call one family member. I got an aunt, I told you, that's 102 years old. 102. Today, tomorrow, I'm going to try to find out. Today or tomorrow, I'm going to try to find out how she doing, and I'm going to get to it. Let's see. The Grapevine 1% Challenge. Oh, pray. Make sure you pray. Make sure you meditate. Whatever you do, make sure you do that. Play outside with your child. That if you are sitting in the house, I know a lot of us get heavy butt, literally heavy butt. If you are outside, if you are inside the house and you are not getting outside with your child, make sure that you are pulling your child off the couch, off the video games, and getting outside, just playing a little bit. 10, 20 minutes don't hurt. 10, 20 minutes goes actually a really long way. Write down your goals. Go visit your parents. Do that. Write down your goals. If you have goals for the future, make sure you do your thing. Make sure you put those goals down on paper. Put them down on paper. Like I got this piece of paper right here. If you don't have a piece of paper, put it in your phone. And then I want to ask y'all which ones are you committing before midnight? Don't just start on Monday. Don't just go through the week and be like, man, I'm going to do this on Monday, next Monday. Nah, because next Monday might not even be here for you. A lot of people, we go through life and we procrastinate on that next go around. But really, do it because it pops in your head. Do it because you're listening to me tell you that you are going to commit to something before midnight. Call your aunt, call your cousin, call your brother, call your sister, check on them. Go outside. If you got extra wood, build your child a bike ramp so they can learn how to jump off the bike ramp. Go to the store and get your baby a skateboard. Do that. Straight up. Do that. I think that's really, really important. Milwaukee, before I leave, make that commitment. Make a strong commitment to be the best person you can be. So today, I'm going to leave off a little early because I want to play y'all a song. I think we got that song. We got that song, Z? I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let that song play because I think it's appropriate for us to be healthy with the theme song. Kind of like how they had that I'm Gonna Get You the theme song. This is the theme song for today. Y'all, I'm your host, Manan Sabir. Stay tuned for Jazz, Tyler, Tap In with Jazz, and Meech. I'm out of here.